into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Kaufmann. Now, let the buzz begin!
I'm gonna do this.
The champ is back. But I'm tough enough. My voice isn't here, but I'm going to keep going as best as I can. And we are going to talk Tough Enough live here on AfterBuzz TV. If you're watching AfterBuzzTV.com, the YouTube page, iTunes, SoundCloud, 5 stars. Like, subscribe. Yes, I know my voice is gone.
What happened?
It's like you saw some two guys super kick some kid.
Yeah, I'll fill you in a minute. But in the meantime, let's introduce ourselves. Welcome to Tough Enough AfterBuzz, everybody. I'm Christian Rosenberg. Follow me on Twitter at Real Rosenberg, Instagram at The Real Rosenberg. Full crew here tonight. Yeah. To my left at Christy Reports, it is Christy Olson.
Hello, everybody.
Over in the baby blue at G. Hermoza, the encyclopedia of sports entertainment, Mr. George Hermoza.
That's right, that's me. I'm still waiting for somebody to try and stump me.
Ooh. And in the kind of reddish orange, burnt orange,
that's red.
Bittersweet. It's not red.
It's clearly, that's like cherry red.
It's not cherry
red. You know what, I'm going to back you up
the
on this
dress
burnt
is
orange
blue and
thing.
black.
Yeah, burnt orange, thank you. That's Steve Kaufmann, it's Steve Kaufmann.
Yes, what's happening with the perception of color on the people of that side of the room?
Well, see, on this side, we have very good taste in fashion. As you can see from my Christian Rosenberg t-shirt that you can get at prowrestlingtees.com/Christian Rosenberg.
I mean, you think that your laptop's covering up?
What, this thing? That you can see right here? I gotta sign back into my computer now.
And don't forget, Believe!
And Bo Dallas is here in studio with us per action figure. But yeah, my voice is gone because I spent this weekend doing commentary where you probably saw it on TMZ, hashtag super kick a kid. The Young Bucks decided to kick a 9-year-old's head off, and I was doing a play-by-play during it. And then on Sunday...
Wait, can people hear you on the TMZ video?
Yes. And then...
You're on TMZ,
I'm kind of a big deal, everybody. And then on Sunday, I got to manage former Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Carlito. Wow. And then he spit an apple in my face, which wasn't very nice. And now I'm here with you guys.
He was United States Champion as well.
Who promised not to spit anything in your face.
Thank you.
I do not make
Steve
that
does
promise.
not make that promise.
I cannot speak for what I will do in the course of this show. Your voice was fine until we started. Like, what did you do?
Well, when I'm talking like low, lower here, then it sounds fine. But then when I'm excited to talk,
I am very excited to be here too.
Guys, puberty is a beautiful thing. So let's get into Tough Enough, shall we? We don't have many people left.
By the way, but I think they started. It's the greatest show of all TV shows, or the best.
The greatest show in the history of shows.
TV shows.
The show,
quote unquote, from John Cena.
Which is absolutely true.
Literally the show of shows.
I will be honest though, this episode, to me, without a doubt, was my favorite episode of the season.
Same here.
Steve agrees with me.
They're still mulling it over.
Yeah.
Semi-same.
When I heard Chris Jericho was going to be the host of Tough Enough, I thought every episode would be like this one. That he'd be hands-on. There'd still be 3 coaches, but he'd be hands-on in the ring for every exercise.
Is that what you guys liked so much about the episode,
Yeah.
or was it more that there was finally actual wrestling matches going on?
That too, but I think if every in the ring part, not the challenge part, involved Chris Jericho, similar to the 2011 season with Austin, whose shirt I'm wearing that you can find on prowrestlingtees.com.
And while you're there,
Whoa,
you can Rosenberg.
I know. I'm trying my best.
There's a lot of bad throats happening.
By the way, George, I have a stump question for you.
Ooh.
How many times has John Cena lost clean since 2005?
Wow, that's a good
So
one.
think about that one
think about
while we get
I have to give you a
into.
pen and paper.
Yeah, actually, let me borrow a pen.
Pen and a piece of paper.
Let's get into the
real
episode.
quick, what you were saying as well. I do like this episode as well because they kind of emphasize it. Oh, I just ripped one of the papers. They kind of emphasize on why wrestling is so important as far as psychology-wise and storytelling, and at that part, I really, really liked.
Yeah, and this is why I really liked it, because the entire episode, there was no weird relay race challenge. There is no, hey, the word of the day is. I mean, even though it was kind of about like, hey, ring psychology stuff, but it was, hey, you have to be a sports entertainer. You have to put on a match. And we're going to get into that. But the show starts with, after the elimination, they head back to the barracks, and Chris Jericho is at the barracks to surprise them with some pizza and apparently wearing a hoodie completely like unzipped.
I mean,
Was I the only one that noticed
No,
that he
I
was pretty
also-
much topless?
I also noticed that sometimes people go weird with fashion choices. Batista did that a lot, where he would wear a suit jacket and then nothing
I
underneath
just wrote
it.
down Batista. By the way, define clean.
Clean means no interference, no cheating, no nothing.
Because, for example, like...
So Edge at one night stand, or
Yeah,
Rob Van Dam one night stand would not count because Edge ran in.
it
wouldn't be clean.
Or what about New Year's Revolution 2006 when Edge cashed in? Yes,
We've
it
lost
was,
them
it was
entirely,
clean.
people. I am so sorry.
was clean.
I'd give that clean, but that would be
Why
an
did I
asterisk.
tell him the question was asked?
So let's put Edge to New Year's Revolution asterisk.
Anyway,
Okay.
Asterisk.
So,
Okay,
Spelling
but
out
yeah, but you know
asterisk?
what? It's a good thing that we know that Chris Jericho isn't a big D-bag because he kind of looks like one sometimes. So it's good that we
but
know
he's
that
not. He's not.
He's
hey,
not.
he was wearing a very thin hoodie with no shirt underneath, but he had his scarf, so it made it all okay.
And
He loves
A scarf doesn't increase D-bagness whatsoever.
he also had 2 boxes of unmarked pizzas.
Yeah,
So,
2 boxes of non-branded pizzas.
of
Those pizzas look good.
Namino Guan Hut pizza.
Yeah, but don't you figure that like ZZ and Josh both could pack away 2 pizzas? Like, how is 2 pizzas going to be enough for Chris Jericho and the cast of Tough Enough?
Steve and I can pack away 2 pizzas.
Yeah, right? See, I'm like, Jericho did not bring enough pizza.
I packed away 2 pizzas since
That's all
the
I'm
show
saying.
started.
Yeah. So
And those cookies? Damn, dude.
now, the one thing that really stood out to me in this was Gigi said that this competition is not about being relatable. And which ZZ then chimed in, and if you've been listening to the show, you know how we all feel about ZZ. But he was 100% right in this regard. He's like, no, you have to be relatable because that's how you can convey the story. That's how you grasp them in to want to watch you. Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And how Gigi has not seen this yet baffles me.
Well, she did address this on, I think it was Tough Talk, and she did say, she didn't use the best word. She kind of meant instead of that being relatable isn't important, she meant being
Alex.
likable isn't important. Like the point that she was trying to make was that not everyone has to be a babyface, not everyone has to be loved by the fans. You can be hated by the fans too, but she certainly didn't put it well. And she worded it
Let's
wrong.
put it this way. George has a Bo Dallas action figure on the desk here. Let's use him as an example. Bo Dallas is a heel. Don't you like booing him?
Yes.
Right.
That makes him likable to an extent. Mm-hmm. So you need to be likable as well. So the fact that you have to get some type of response from them, whether they love you or hate you. And Gigi just feels, no, I just have to go out there and do a good job. No, that's not the case. See Charlie Haas, a guy like that, a tremendous competitor, but didn't really have much charisma and never really got a good reaction from the crowds. I don't know why he randomly popped in my mind, but
Well, I
That was
guarantee
worth
you,
in that
Gigi has
example.
no idea who he is.
That was a very particular pull.
I don't know how that one ran, but there are plenty of others like that.
Charlie Haas didn't beat John Cena. Why is that on the list, George?
He beat him in OVW.
Oh, God.
But this is since 2005. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if he did.
And then Jericho kind of was guiding them in talking about ring psychology and telling a story, and then had a drinking match with Tanner.
Real quick though, I think they kind of were talking about maybe some of their favorite matches of all time.
Oh,
They
this
did bring that
was-
up a little
I
bit
thought that was
too.
just kind of random, just the way they were talking.
Did
I mean,
anyone else notice that Gigi, of the 3 that they highlighted, Gigi's was the only one that was more than 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. And the other 2 were Brock Lesnar matches of the last,
Recent.
20 months. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That it was just like, let's look
That
at
had me rolling my eyes.
Let's look at the biggest matches that have happened in recent memory. One of those will be my favorite.
But then my one thing was, okay, Gigi picked that Lita Trish Stratus match because Lita pretty much broke her neck and
Yeah.
kept going. Mm-hmm. What about the story that was told in the match? There was a great story told in that match.
Well, this week they were making an awful big deal out of John Cena keeping going after the nose thing, so that's maybe what she.
But I
what
do
she
agree
had
with the
in her
story. The story
mind.
was so much more than that. It was that was the great thing about that match is it was like a 6-month story arc that was just really good. That culminated into that, which made it amazing.
Yeah, but this whole discussion of the contestants' favorite matches usually happens sooner in the season, and they usually make a huge deal out of it. We remember this is where Ariane, or what the heck is her? Cameron? We haven't seen her in the ring for
Yeah,
a while.
really.
I have a hard time
My
remembering.
favorite match is Melina versus Alicia Fox from Raw.
Who? Wasn't that what? Right?
What?
What? Isn't that what? What's his name said to her?
It was just like it was some random Monday Night Raw match that
Yeah.
she named. Yeah, you should have that. I mean, I think it's safe to say all of us can name our favorite match.
For sure.
What's your favorite match?
Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam '91.
What's your favorite match, Christy?
God, no, I'm gonna do the thing where I pick a recent one. I like the
Undertaker versus
after
Brock
I
Lesnar.
Undertaker, Brock
no,
Lesnar.
the ladies at Beast in the East.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, that was a good one.
I'm gonna tell you what George's is. George's favorite match is Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
That's true.
Well,
Wow, you two know each other so well.
Houston,
that's a lot.
Texas.
That's a lot of people's favorite
From
match.
Houston, Texas.
That is a fair guess.
And Steve, since you already guessed George's, should George guess yours?
Oh, I know. I know it's gonna be some like ECW match or something.
no, it's actually Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels,
Iron Man
60-minute
match.
Iron Man match.
Okay.
March 31st, 1986, from the Arrowhead Pond of
Arrowhead Pan.
Arrowhead Pond, the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim,
There you go.
California.
3 months
Okay.
old.
March 31st, 1996.
Oh, I thought you said 86.
Well, they did a lot of celebration after that
Yeah.
after that match after WrestleMania night, and Tanner and Jericho did a lot of celebration this night. And Jericho was up wide awake the next morning. Tanner not so much. Welcome to life on the road, buddy.
I wouldn't try to outdrink Chris Jericho.
No.
I don't
I've
think
heard
that
a
would
lot
work.
of stories about him. He's a drinker.
Did Jericho invent it? Because he invents everything. Did he invent late night drinking, able to get up early with no hangover?
I mean, Tanner was like the only one. I'm kind of curious what everyone else drank, or if they drank.
Or they
I mean,
somewhat
obviously,
behaved themselves?
ZZ probably woke up fine.
Well, it was all premium top shelf liquor, so no one should have been hurting too bad. They weren't drinking,
like
Kharkov
Fireball?
vodka.
Fireball?
Well,
That's
but they had
Popov.
they had Patron and Grey
they
Goose
did
there
have
as well.
Patron, yeah.
I saw Fireball.
I saw Fireball, which is not top shelf by any stretch. That is a liqueur, by
Which,
the
by the
way.
way, I thought that was banned, by the way.
It
Or
should
they were
be
banning
It's
Fireball.
not banned, but people love it.
I do like me some Patron.
Ew.
We'll go back to this list. All right. CM Punk, Money in the Bank 2011 from Chicago, Illinois.
All right, well, George makes his list.
And that one, I don't know if you can count clean either, because Laurinaitis got involved.
But he didn't even do anything.
I'd count that clean.
So anyway,
See, that was what I said. Who define clean?
just stop. He's literally written like an entire sheet of paper trying to figure this out. So we're reviewing.
Look at this little pink paper.
It's adorable.
Scratch.
So we're reviewing drills. They're reviewing the stuff that went over the previous day, and this time now Jericho is there also with Booker T, Billy Gunn, and Lita. And they're like, "Hey, so here's your challenge today. Tanner, you and Gigi are going to make a match.
So weird.
Josh and ZZ, you two are going to make a match. Amanda and Sarah, you two are going to make a match. You have an hour to prepare it. Go."
And you only know hip tosses and body slams.
Hip toss, body slam, and shoulder tackles. So, what do we think first off? God, my voice. What do we think first off of the matchups?
No, real quick first, too. I mean, you've been backstage a lot with some of the wrestlers, not to overexpose the business, but is an hour a lot of time to prepare for a match?
Yeah.
If honestly, I know plenty of people that just call it in the ring because they have all that experience.
Yeah.
There are some people that can do it in 10 minutes. There are others that need 2 hours, 3 hours. I think 1 hour for them with just a limited amount of moves that they know, and let's be honest, they were planning maybe a 3-minute match. I think that was more than enough time for them, in my opinion. Because it's just like, okay, we got to do this type of taunt stuff. This is the story we're telling. I'm going to do the shoulder tackle. You're going to do this body slam. I'm going to do this hip toss. Then you're going to do this body slam and pin me. I mean, that's the match.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah. So I think an hour in those situations is enough time. Plus, you have Jericho, you have Booker, you have Billy Gunn kind of helping you guys as well. To me, that should be more than enough time to do that.
That's a good amount of time to facilitate 6 people. How many? We're 6 people into this.
6.
6 people. Like, that should be enough time to just make sure some people might run slower than others.
Right.
Than an hour for their knowledge.
So these were the stories they came up with. Apparently, Tanner cheated on Gigi
With her sister.
with her sister, so she's pissed. So instead of taking it out on Maury Povich, we're taking it out in the ring.
I'm not trying to figure out who the father is.
Yet. ZZ is the underdog with big man Josh. That's pretty easy to
That
understand.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Amanda is the hot girl who thinks she's better than Sarah, a.k.a. Michelle McCool and Mickey James, or, that's a typical storyline we hear all the time with Divas matches. At least we used to.
That's
Yeah, but it was
awesome, by
so
the way.
obvious
I felt
and
like
uncreative.
I felt like that could have been a little more creative. And Sarah could have spoken up a little more to Amanda of just like, hey, maybe we should play, especially since they're telling me I smile too much, we should go out of our way to do something where I'm not smiling and tell a story that I'm not smiling.
Yeah. Or they could have played opposites and really kind of given you a shock.
Why couldn't Sarah play a crazy person and is always smiling and laughing?
That too.
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
Mind blown.
Nobody tells Dean Ambrose he smiles too much in the ring.
No. Roman Reigns gets beat up by Brock Lesnar and starts laughing.
That's true.
We
But
all,
that's telling a story.
yeah, we all found that very enjoyable.
So the matches get started, and they have the entire NXT roster as the crowd, which is great.
Everybody
So
was
cool.
there.
Like Bailey's front row, and Bailey's just got this look on her face, just like, why am I here?
It struck me as it was an early morning for everybody.
Yeah, they're like, we got to be up at like 7
No, I think it was an
a.m.
annoying morning.
But no,
for
I thought it was a
everybody.
little. Speaking of annoying, I thought it was a little annoying. Sarah, where they walk into the performance center and you clearly see a bunch of chairs. So she walks in, she's like, "Oh, blah blah blah," we're doing our thing. And then I turn around, there's all these chairs. You didn't see that before you turned around and you started training. Jesus, Sarah Lee. That's why you're not my favorite anymore.
They probably told her to say that, George. I just want to make sure you're aware of that.
I don't know that.
Reality shows have producers that act more as writers.
I don't know. I don't know that. Back to
Josh
this list.
Josh versus ZZ was the opening contest, and I thought they did well. Honestly,
Yeah.
I really thought ZZ did a good job in this little match. And you can only move so much, but he was telling a story with his mannerisms, going around the ring and stuff, and it was clear to the crowd, hey, all right, here's this big, giant muscle guy who's just kind of picking on the smaller guy. Let's root for the smaller guy. It sold itself, and I thought the two of them did a lot better than I thought they would.
There was a truffle shuffle chant at some point.
I heard that
I
too.
was a big fan.
I did like some of the facial reactions from ZZ though.
Yeah.
Those were some of my favorite shots from ZZ. I mean, obviously in professional wrestling, it's all about performance and storytelling. So a lot of it is facial reactions, and I thought he did a good part with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with both of them.
Next came Sarah versus Amanda, as kind of like the calm the crowd down match.
Hey, there has been a diva revolution. There's no more snack breaks while the girls are wrestling.
Thank goodness, but there was one today. And I don't want to say this because I'm so not a fan of her, but as far as the 3 girls, Amanda by far did the best in this.
Did you think so?
Oh, without a doubt.
of actual
of the three girls between Amanda, Sarah, and Gigi. Amanda, she played off being a villain. You know, she played off being a heel, and she responded to the boos and taunted the crowd. And Sarah, once again, seemed very lost and was smiling, to which Booker T just went off on her. And
He's so over her.
I loved how like they cut to her after, like when the match was like over. It's like, I feel really good about the match. We did really well. Da 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 da. And then Booker talks. And I don't know what I have to do. No one the judge is.
And I love how it was in front of the NXT roster. Meaning all of her peers. If she were to win this contract, those would be all of her peers. And Booker T just
those are all the people you have to work with.
Yeah, those are all the people she's gonna have to work with if she makes it. If she gets this contract and goes to developmental.
Yeah.
And like Booker T just like dressed her down in front of all of them. She had to deal with that.
But she deserved it, so.
Well,
Finally, the main event of the evening was Tanner versus Gigi. And to me, Gigi looked even more lost than Sarah. Because first off, she had no idea how to react to the crowd, respond to the crowd. They had no idea that she was the babyface. She fell over at one point, which that happens. I'm not putting that against her.
She was hip
No, but she could have played it off differently.
Right. And, but to me, it just seemed like cocky guy versus bleh.
like, do I like this person? Do I not like this
Oh,
person?
but
Like,
wasn't Tanner being quite blah himself?
No, because at the end he played possum under the
end.
ropes with the referee, did the schoolboy, and then like rolled out of the ring and celebrated and mocked. And he was mocking a little bit. I thought he did a little more than what the judges said he did. But yes, he still has more work to do, certainly. But I mean,
it also takes two to tango there. I think
that too.
I think if it
You're
were
right.
him and Josh putting a match together, I think it would have been the best match possible.
What do you guys think about the fact that Gigi's now kind of gotten used to working with Amanda and even Sarah Lee, and now and Tanner as well is used to working with the guys, and now they've been put up against each other? Don't you think that would kind of lend to a little bit of confusion itself, just because she's not used to wrestling Tanner?
No.
I think it was more focused on the actual psychology of it and storytelling.
Yeah,
And she just didn't have the basics of just who am I to this audience?
Like if they were,
and
if
what
they were,
story are we telling?
if they were judging on maybe ring skills and things like that, yeah, maybe you might get a little thrown off by wrestling a guy, but it wasn't about that really.
And I think they paired these guys the way they did for a reason. You know, they wanted to challenge Josh by carrying a match with ZZ. And they wanted to challenge ZZ by keeping up with Josh. Amanda and Sarah hate each other, so we're going to challenge you two by trying to work together. Tanner and Gigi have shown the least amount of charisma, even though they're two best probably athletes in man and woman. And so let's see how you two will work together. And to me, I thought Tanner did fine. Gigi, I watched and I was just like, am I going to be paying money to buy merchandise for this girl today?
Well, it'll be a while.
Well, I mean, if it was today, you saw these 6 people wrestle. You had enough money to buy yourself a T-shirt after you bought one of mine at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg, but you had enough for one more. Who would you buy a T-shirt of?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Because to me, it's a no-brainer that it was.
ZZ.
Oh, so, see, I was going to say Josh.
Yeah, and that was easy. Well,
Yeah,
Josh was the heel.
I think I'm buying ZZ's shirt too.
Okay,
Yeah.
George.
I'd buy Josh. I'm still on Josh. You guys know about
Right,
how
but-
much
Yeah.
I love
But
Josh.
needless to say, we all just picked that opening match. None of us gave a damn about Sarah, Amanda. None of us gave a damn about Tanner and Gigi.
That's true.
Josh won for the males, and just won overall.
Yeah.
And then Sarah was voted the worst, which I think it's safe to say we all were in agreement with both those selections. So they don't know what to do. But I know something that our listeners can do, guys.
What can I
They
listen
can
to?
go over to iTunes
Yes.
and rate and subscribe and give that 5 stars, and make sure you keep telling your friends, your loved ones, your arch nemesis, if you have more than one nemesis. I have several.
As many do.
Yeah. And make sure you keep telling about the wonderful world of AfterBuzz. Obviously, we do all the WWE programming here. See Tough Enough. Christy and George do Total Divas. I do SmackDown. There's Raw. There's NXT. The pay-per-views, which these three people that I'm sitting with do as well. And, of course, you name the show, AfterBuzz does it. So make sure you look it up, AfterBuzzTV.com, for all the schedule of stuff and
all the
love
fun
us
things.
because we
Muppets,
love you.
Muppets, Heroes, Gotham, Modern Family.
You're just naming all the shows you do.
Yes, I am. I am.
Real Housewives, Dance Moms. I know you guys out there, the Tough Enough fans, are probably huge.
They're huge Dance Moms fans.
Huge Dance Moms fans.
I mean, these shows, they're so similar to each other.
Right?
Where was I? Okay, so now we're back at the Barracks. Tanner and Josh are playing pool again because that seems to be the only thing they do. And they're just kind of making fun of each other. And what is it that Tanner called himself? Like a mechanical what?
He's a mechanical specimen.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
The mechanical specimen. Because even though he was hungover, he was still able to perform to the extent that he did.
But that's not what mechanical means, and that's not a positive thing, especially in the WWE, to be mechanical. That's not what he didn't
true.
say what he thought he said. Right? He meant as a physical specimen he could overcome and he could still do it. But to say that he's mechanical, that means that you're don't do stuff.
Miz
well.
played
You're
into
mechanical.
that. Miz played into that a lot later.
Yeah.
Because he misspoke. He didn't mean mechanical.
Right. But he still thought that it was the right thing to say. He kind of Bella twinned it with the words.
Bella twinned it?
Yeah, they're not too much with the words. Those Bella twins. Bless their hearts, love them both. But
They don't talk as good or osmosis.
exactly.
Okay.
But they sure are funner.
There it is. So Tanner and Josh are making fun of each other, and then we go over to Amanda and Gigi, who are reading tweets that are not very positive about them.
Was anyone else wondering if they were going to read theirs?
Yes, I was dying sitting there with my fingers crossed. You guys, I thought I was like, oh my god, they made this whole scene from my tweet. I was so ready for it.
I don't recall saying anything particularly mean, but I have said negative things about both of them that may have shown up on this segment. I'm glad they didn't. Or maybe
There's always next time.
I'm glad you're not interviewing them tomorrow. Then. Did anybody find this so odd that fine, read them, on your own time or whatever. That's fine. You're making a big deal of, why are they being so mean? And then all of a sudden Amanda flips the script and says, hey, I can't believe everyone's being so mean about me. Well, you know what? Bring it on. She's like, no. Just no.
Kudos to them if they can just brush it off or do it off their shoulder.
They're supposed to. They're gonna get thousands of tweets a day as a diva.
Yeah, but that's all they've got. They're Z-list reality stars at this point. This is their only claim to fame. This literally all they have is people tweeting them. That's the only attention that they get. That's them feeling like stars now. And they live in this world of social media and WWE. And I think it probably kind of inflates your sense of self-importance when you're thinking oh my God, 10,000 people talked about me today. Or whatever it is, whether people are saying negative things or positive things to you. That goes to your head people care about talking about me. Gigi showed up late to one of the events a couple days ago, and then she had to make this big social media, make a video. Oh my God, people are wondering where I am. It's okay, I'm still here. They've become legends in their own little minds at this point. And I wasn't surprised to see them sitting in.
I got excited when
I
got excited when I hit 200 Twitter followers.
And we're very proud of you for it.
I'm at 252 now. So
Whoa.
hashtag road to 300
Road
followers.
to 300 is growing.
Yeah, that's right. The revolution has begun.
Studio audience, that's enough. You can follow him. There might be enough people in the audience to follow you to get up to them.
Those are all his
that's
followers.
all 252 of them?
They follow him around.
Oh.
That's why. You do!
Nothing to be sad about. I love it.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Steven just lost 252 followers.
They're all mine too.
So then, ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed because we are graced with the presence of the United States champion and broken nose survivor, John Cena, who comes out in a new shirt.
There were pictures of this shirt yesterday.
Yeah, he premieres new gear on Tough Enough.
Would have been Raw, but probably... Was anyone else expecting a face mask?
Yes.
I was.
Yeah,
I was
and when he
expecting
didn't
that
come out
Trish
with
Stratus
one-
face mask.
Yeah.
I was expecting just maybe like the little tape around the nose, not the full mask when you're walking out
Fair
there to
enough,
talk.
yeah.
Maybe when he wrestles at SummerSlam. But so Cena comes out and he does a really nice speech, which is the same exact speech that he gave towards the end of the first season of Total Divas.
I'll take your word for it.
Because I remember, because I did the AfterBuzz for Total Divas for first 2 seasons, and he went on a big thing. I was like, you have to commend these women for having these cameras following around so you can watch their journey, which is something that's never been done before, or things that like so many people would not do. He goes on here today and says, you guys are doing something that no one else is doing. You're allowing us to watch your growth. The NXT superstars, they can make mistakes, but they're in the privacy of the performance center around their peers. You don't have that. You're around everyone.
You've kind of destroyed this speech for me. I thought this speech was a one-time...
No,
the first time he was
it
saying
wasn't.
it, I actually bought in a little.
He says it so well because he's such a great speaker. And I'm all for what he said. We've heard it before. And then he left.
Yep.
He was there for a minute.
Yeah. A hot minute.
A hot minute.
Sec.
He could have at least like AA'd the guys and see how they take it. And then they just pop... Well, everyone's kicking out of it at this point, so
Yeah.
it's okay if they just got
It's all
back
good.
up.
And it's better than Big Show just standing there for 2 to 3 segments, with his arm crossed,
What would you
sweating.
What would you rather have? Cena just show up for a minute, talk, and run out? Or have the guy there for 45
Which, by the
minutes?
way, he accepted Seth Rollins' challenge, by the way. You
Yeah.
still forgot probably the real reason why he was there.
He accepted Seth Rollins' challenge through Daniel Bryan.
That
was
was
fun
that
to
was
watch.
all. That whole thing was a little wonky.
This was, I mean, it was
What if
just to
Daniel
get
Bryan
the
started
Cena
doing no?
fans
What if he started
wanting
doing the
to
no chant?
New York Times best-selling author Daniel Bryan.
Have you bought his book yet?
I already finished his book.
How is it?
Amazing.
So you're plugging his book right now.
Dude, I was plugging his book on Total Divas, to be honest with you. I'm not even... I was trying to tie it in with the whole Brie thing, but yeah, it's a really, really, really good book.
All right, there you go, people. Buy Daniel Bryan's book.
Or just listen to George talk on these after shows for the next couple weeks, and you'll probably learn everything that's interesting in it anyway.
I forgot to tell you about the... Anyway.
What does Bo
can tell
Dallas
me
think of
later.
John Cena's speech?
He believes.
Why is he making that with his hand?
Well, you expect a thumbs up?
Yes,
Believe.
Bo Dallas should be given a thumbs up.
Oh,
He can only do so much.
yeah. It's an action figure, Kristen.
He only gets so much airtime.
High expectation.
He's getting more airtime right now than he is on TV.
Yeah, which is a shame because he's my favorite guy right now. So the judges during like the little grill section, they grilled Tanner, Sarah, ZZ, and mostly Gigi about the fact that the crowd had no idea if they were supposed to cheer or boo you. Jericho had to tell the crowd that you were the good guy, and they're absolutely right. So bottom 3 gets announced. Our bottom 3 is Tanner, Sarah again, and Gigi. So ZZ survives another week.
And Amanda.
And Amanda survives another week. We have their speeches. Which again, 2 weeks in a row they came before the votes.
Listening to us.
Yes.
Sarah's speech, great as always. Hey, I'm gonna work at this. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And there was a twinge in the back of her mind of like, you're gonna vote for me anyway. I'm Sarah. You like me. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We like Sarah. I even voted for Sarah. But at this point, I'm just voting for Sarah and CZ to win the show.
I think all
You've just succumbed to
I've
the
just-
inevitable.
I think all of the last second promos were all good.
I thought overall everyone did well.
I think
Gigi kind of was very emotional with it because like, this is what I want to do.
And she knew it was coming.
Yeah. Tanner, I liked Tanner's the most because he was cocky, but he backed it up. He was just like, "You're telling me to do this, I did it. I'm listening to the judges. I did what they told me to do. I'm coachable. I'm improving."
See,
Take it, because this is what I'm bringing you.
I thought his tactic of like attacking the Miz instead of stating his case to the WWE universe was not the best strategy.
If I were
ended up
Tanner,
working
I
out
would have.
okay.
If I were Tanner, I would have just done another case for Sarah Lee.
For one thing, though,
Guys, here's why you're gonna vote for Sarah Lee.
going back to what we were saying earlier about psychology, and I do actually agree with Miz. I know I've been on this Miz bash thing for the last few weeks, but he did say one thing that I think was really, really important that he said. It's not the moves that you do, it's what you do between the moves.
Yes.
Because everybody can do a hip toss, everybody can do a clothesline, etc., but it's what you do in between the moves.
Can
and I
you
think
do a
that's
hip
what-
toss and clothesline, George?
Well, I mean, if I was a wrestler. We'll find out. We'll find out next Tuesday.
That's foreshadowing something that we're going to be doing next week. More details to come. But yeah, so they all plead their cases. Daniel Bryan is the only one left with a save. Will you save someone?
So dramatic this week, too.
Yeah.
Well, because he's the only one left. So, they told him, think about it for a minute. We're going to have the camera 3 inches from your face. And then quietly say, no.
I think something else they probably said to him was, P.S., we're not going to allow you to use your save this week because we need to be able to control.
I think
that will be our complete loss of control over who's going to be in the finale.
I think I have a
And
prediction
I was
for
not
next week when
expecting
that
him to use
happens.
it.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen next week. I know exactly. It's
Well,
gonna
because-
piss me off.
Because next week is the last time he can use a save.
Yes,
So, and then he's going to.
he's going to use it next week. So, the votes are in. My voice is not, but the votes are in. Sarah received 43% again. Tanner, 35%. And with 22%, Gigi, the girl that we thought would be competing with Daria in the finals. And then when Daria got
Shows how
eliminated,
much
we
we
thought
know.
Gigi would be the one competing with Chelsea in the finals. Then when Chelsea got eliminated, okay, Gigi is the one that's going to win, was sent home. And she genuinely started crying.
Yeah.
Like, she was really, really upset. And she said, when Renee Young, ran up to her immediately, which is just so awkward.
Yeah.
But it has to be done. She said, the universe doesn't like her yet. But that sucks.
Wasn't very nice.
I
will say this though, when during her 30-second plea, I bought it. When she was going off and
Yes.
saying, I bought it, she was like, this is all I know now. Like, I have no backup plan. I'm like, you know what, Gigi, me and you, we're gonna go on a date and we're gonna talk about wrestling. Which, by the way,
I'll ask her
Yeah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I was just gonna crash the set tomorrow, but
pretty sure you
No,
can-
we're gonna lock the door so you can't get in.
Okay, but yeah, just put
Hashtag
in.
creepy George.
I'm already trying to tell Daria to hook me up, but maybe if
How's that going so far?
She's not responding. I think she deleted me from her phone book, rightfully so. But now, if I have somebody else kind of making a case for me, I'm looking at you, by the way.
Oh, you're looking at me.
Yeah, just
I am single too. Why can't I make a case for myself?
He's going to be concerned about hitting on her for himself tomorrow
I thought
when he
you were
interviews
on
her.
Chelsea.
Here on AfterBuzz TV.
Come on, now you're being selfish. You just said Chelsea was like the best looking one.
Because she was.
Yes.
But then with the
Without go ahead.
I'm talking to Gigi this week. So
I'm just so glad you guys are over Sarah Lee.
I'm still,
oh
hold- I'm still holding out for Sarah Lee.
She's still hot.
I'm still holding out for
But-
Sarah Lee. I think there's still a chance for us.
So Gigi goes home. I'll be talking to her tomorrow morning. You can send me questions for her with hashtag ABTV Ask Gigi. But let's get some predictions. Let's see where we are. So we already know the finals for the women.
Yes.
So they pretty much already announced tonight
The bottom.
that the bottom 3 next week is going to be Josh Tanner and ZZ.
Right.
I think they're gonna play with the idea all next week that the bottom 3 might not be the guys.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if somehow either Sarah or Amanda won next week before the finale?
I don't-
That
That's
would
It's
be
been a possibility
hilarious.
this entire time.
But
Yeah.
they never were going to do it.
But they're playing with that possibility to make us watch next week.
Right.
And who's to say they don't crown a winner on crown the female winner on week 9 and then the male winner on week 10? That they can do that.
They can.
They won't.
They haven't made the changes to the show that we would have suggested from the beginning that were much smaller changes that would have made things work better. So I doubt they're going to be doing something outlandish like that.
So let's
But it would be
do.
cool.
Let's do, just instead of like who we think is gonna win. Let's pretty much just kind of say who's in the finale, because in other words, okay, who's the last one being eliminated next week?
Yeah, who are your final four? Thus, who goes home next week?
Right. Steve, we'll start with you.
Who gets eliminated next week is between Josh and Tanner, because ZZ can't lose a vote. Like there would be no. I don't see a universe where ZZ will lose a vote. And if he's in the bottom three with Josh and Tanner, it becomes between Josh and Tanner.
It's going to be all three of them.
Then I'm still holding on hope that they might want to just eliminate some. They might want to eliminate a girl next week and crown a winner. I think Josh is going to go home because I think he's slightly better than Tanner, and this whole show has been a bizarre world. This whole show has been
the reasoning.
It's going to be Tanner ZZ, Amanda Sarah, and then it's going to be Sarah ZZ.
Okay.
Because this whole show is just this like weird circus sideshow where the people who are great go out real early.
George, what about you?
Here is my prediction, and I pray to God that I'm wrong, because this would I probably won't even show up for the finale if this what happens.
Oh.
We know the obvious bottom three. Now, people say like, oh, ZZ can't lose a vote. Well, I hope he does, because quite frankly, we've seen Josh and ZZ in the bottom three at the same time, and Josh got more votes than ZZ.
That one time.
But they haven't been in the bottom three together since.
Right.
Now, with that said, I think what's going to happen, and this is the part where I don't want to happen, they're all going to be in the bottom three. The logical thing would be to save Josh, because he is just money.
Yes.
But they're going to save Tanner, because they're going to think that Josh is going to get more votes than ZZ. Therefore, ZZ would get eliminated. But, I'm sorry, that's what's going to happen. Except that ZZ is going to get more votes than Josh. So then it'll be Tanner and Josh. Because somebody's going to get saved next week.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to save
So you're
Tanner.
saying Josh eliminated?
They're going to say, yes, I think Josh eliminated, even though it's the wrong thing to do. They're going to save Tanner because they think that Josh is going to get more votes than ZZ. But instead, it's not going to happen. So
I don't think anyone could ever think that Josh would get more votes than ZZ.
It's happened before, though.
Yeah, but
that's the
That was a
only reason
long
why I
time ago.
think that. But at the same, I think Josh he's kind of grown. Like I like Josh. Like, and I think that I'm not the average wrestling fan, obviously not. But the fact that I've grown to really like him, who's to say that a good majority of the people haven't done that either?
So, Christy, what do you think? Who's getting eliminated?
I think I only care about Josh when he has his shirt off.
Me and him have the same body.
I just don't care about him.
Yeah, George and Josh are like identical.
We'll have him take his shirt off after the show, ladies. I'll let you all know. No, I think that Tanner's going to go next week. I think Josh will get saved by Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan keeps doing annoying things. And but yeah, I mean, if Sarah and ZZ are going to take it, and it's going to be dumb.
Yeah,
I will say this though. This is one of the few times I actually disagree with Daniel Bryan. I didn't think the whole Georgia not knowing who's she's the bad girl. I didn't think that was a big deal.
that's a huge deal.
No, but I mean, it was at the beginning of the match. Now, if she would have played along in the match and acted like the bad girl, then that's something else. But it's just the beginning
she
of the
didn't
match.
act like anything in the match.
That's why no one had any idea what to do with
It
her.
wasn't just the beginning of the match and then she got right into it. Like the entire match, you're just like, I don't. She's just a deer in headlights right now. That's.
And
I just would have
people were
given
booing
Amanda.
everyone, and she's the only one who got a chant. Like they were shouting her name at one point.
Who, Gigi?
Yeah.
yeah, after Jericho told them, "Hey, cheer for her."
Yeah.
I 100%, Christy. I
digress.
100% with your prediction. Josh gets saved. Tanner gets eliminated next week, and then we'll have our final four for the finale of all finales on the show of all shows.
That'll be fun either way.
Yes,
The finale show will be fun.
It will be fun. And we always have fun talking about this show.
Yes.
We always have fun
Real
interacting with the listeners. Give me
think-
your list of the John Cena
I'm going to
clean
go with
losses. 7.
7. Excluding any Money in the Bank cash ins, I'm going to go with 7.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels on Raw from London, 2007. And it's not, by the way, not in order. Daniel Bryan, SummerSlam 2013 in LA. Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2014 in LA. Kevin Owens, Elimination Chamber, 2015. Forgot where it's from. I think it's Milwaukee. I could be wrong. Batista, SummerSlam 08 from Indianapolis. CM Punk, Money in the Bank, Chicago. And The Rock, WrestleMania 28, Miami, Florida. Jeez. I could be wrong. And 7.
Well, those are all legit. Who knows if there are any
I just
more.
don't know if there's any more. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. So... Feel free to correct me.
Well, if he's wrong, let him know in our comment section, and you can bombard him on Twitter. So, George, we'll talk to you first. How can people help you get to the road to 300?
You just follow me. Go to my Twitter page at Ghermoza, Ghermoza, and click follow.
Steve.
You guys can find me at Steve Kaufmann. That is Kaufmann. If you're fans of Suits or Mr. Robot, also on the USA Network, I cover those shows tomorrow here at AfterBuzz TV. Also, this shirt, courtesy of ProWrestlingTees.com.
Christy.
Yes, you all can share your thoughts with me about this and Total Divas and all the Dance Moms, all your other favorite reality shows. It's at Christy Reports, and please also visit ChristyReports.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Christy Reports, because I'm getting really close to 1 million hits, and I want you guys to help me with that, because I love you guys.
There you go.
Yeah, thank
follow
you.
me.
I love you too.
Follow me on Twitter at We're Rosenberg and Instagram at The We're Rosenberg. And by the way, that's Rosenberg spelled E-R-G. Some people have been trying to spell it with U-R-G. It's E-R-G, people. Get my spelling right.
It's on his shirt.
It's on this shirt that you can buy along with another design at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg with ERG, and also support our hashtag NX team.
Yeah.
Go to shop.spreadshirt.com/SoapboxCartTV. Buy their NX team gear to help fund them to go to SummerSlam in 2 weeks. Help them out with that. And then, of course, hashtag ABTV Ask Gigi to send me questions as I talk to her Wednesday at 10 o'clock Pacific time in the morning. Send me your questions, and we will talk with her then. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. For Steve Kaufmann, George Hermoza, Christy Olson,
And Bo Lee.
and Bo Dallas, I'm whatever voice is left to Christian Rosenberg, and we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Right.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Vote for CC.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.